I am able to transport you there, but I cannot be present when it's taking place.
Okay. So the bottom line is, and I think the important thing is, if Talbert House is an organization that gets religious funding, as does Salvation Army and many others, and they have certain policies that are in place because of that, if they're saying, this isn't something that we do, but we'll plug you into some information that may be helpful to you, I think that's great. If you add on to that a disclaimer about, well, we don't agree with it, and we don't think it's right, and blah, 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 I take issue with that because I don't think that that's helpful. But I think what happens is, and there's two important things, you guys, that, I mean, we can talk about these things all day, but when you look at it, what's the impact for the clients? If a client comes to an organization for assistance, and that organization doesn't provide whatever it is, then what's the impact for the client?
Hopefully you attempt to minimize the negative effect on the client by referring them to an appropriate service provider.
Okay. How do you refer them? How does that referral take place? Is that important? Yeah, it's important. Because even if your organization or you don't agree with or don't endorse or whatever it is that they're asking about, I think the way that you provide them with a referral is very important. Yes?
They've actually taught us that too.
Pardon me?
They taught us that too. I don't know about other organizations, but ours, if you're going to refer them, and I'm only knowing this because I'm doing case manager supervision along with my wife's degree. But if you're going to refer them, you actually are supposed to sit in the session and show trust in the person you're referring them to. So the hope is that usually you will have at least networked with who you're about to refer them to. Like I knew Matt, he's a good guy. We've worked with him several times. He's very good at doing this procedure or whatever it is you're doing.
So you want to make sure that the referral is a good referral. I know that sometimes, if we hear that so-and-so does such and such and we've got a phone number, then we may refer someone when in fact, or it's like an internet link that's broken that doesn't work. And so the person's, no better off than they were. I think the bottom line, you guys, is the important thing to look at as individuals and as human beings. We come prepackaged. We all have things that we don't agree with, that we don't endorse, or that we do, and we feel very strongly about. But the bottom line is, as social workers, I think it's important for us to realize that even if we don't agree with things, and we don't think that something is the best choice, it's the important thing is to be able to interact with and provide clients with information that they're asking for and referrals that they need. And there's some things that stir up a lot of feelings, and this is one of them, and that's why I did it. Because I think everyone has strong feelings about abortion. I don't know of anyone that I've ever met that doesn't. And in social work, it comes up. I was surprised, and I didn't know this till the other day, that there are certain hospitals in Cincinnati that will not do, help women as far as tying your tubes and helping them with things like that. And I could say some things about that aren't nice at all. But it's not about me or things that I feel. I think that there are hospitals in Cincinnati that do that, and that will provide women with certain services that others don't. Did I say something?
I was just asking if they'll do it like for medical reasons.
I don't know.
I mean,
when you think it,
bleeding, like,
yeah,
out type of deal with
yeah. And I think the bottom line, I think it'd be a shame to have to be bleeding to death before you know that can happen. But that's the reality of it. Yes?
I was just wondering, are all hospitals and health clinics in the area obligated to provide emergency contraception in the cases of rape and incest?
That I don't know.
I don't think so.
I
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know if they would like provide it, or if they would refer someone to, someone who would provide that or not, I don't know.
It'd be so unhelpful. You
I
have this
know.
time period to
Yeah.
put emergency
That's
comment
the
section.
problem.
Here's a physician you can see in
Yeah.
78
There
hours.
was a problem with that in Texas a few years ago, people were getting it at the ER, they were getting the prescription for it, and taking it to Accurate CVS, and the pharmacist was saying, I'm not giving this back to you,
Yeah.
it's already in the system, and I'm not filling it.
And
So you
that,
should look it up, you should read the book, how the pro-choice movement saved America or something, I think it's like $5 on Amazon, it's really the book.
the thing about it, that's a good example, because I had heard of that too, and it's the pharmacist that does that, it's their prerogative, they don't have to. But the thing is, as a social worker, I think that if you're looking at a situation like that where, a woman is trying to